So thank you, Frank, for that. Matty D has a bit, so we're going to go through these maybe one by one.
Okay.
To keep the positivity going here, mum's the word about this season until proven otherwise. But I would like to share some inevitables and expectations for the organization / management, roster players, and Coach Roy. I want to be proven wrong, he says, fingers crossed. What I think is inevitable, Jennings Trophy winners. Ilya Sorokin with a 928 and Semyon Varlamov with a 917.
Oh, yeah, that's a positive.
Yeah. Sorokin is top 2 in Vezina voting if he doesn't win the damn thing. I believe the goaltending will carry us to possibly a playoff berth, but from there we fall in round 1 or 2 if we even make it that far. So he's not being like shooting for the moon here. It's just like it seems inevitable that these guys could win a Jennings Trophy this year.
Yeah, I mean the talent's there.
Yeah, exactly. Which for those at home, Jennings is the least amount of goals scored against.
They are not those two, but the Islanders have done it relatively recently with Robin Lehner and Thomas Greiss.
Exactly. So like with 2 less proven goalies at that point, right? Like Greiss was a career backup doing okay numbers, and then Robin Lehner was a reclamation project and it worked out beautifully.
They were both stellar that year.
Yeah, exactly. And then he says organization / management. If we're out of the playoff pictures by January, sell. Nelson must go. Palmieri must go. Riley must go. Anyone of value on expiring contracts must be moved at half retained to maximize profit and help solidify a high draft position in the upcoming draft. If not, put up the damn billboard. There is a big digital one you can see from the highway / train station and all the arena parking lots right off the highway. That would be perfect. He says, name the succession plan to Lou by Max next summer. It's time. Just assuming we miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that right off the bat?
If they're out of the playoffs,
by January.
The moving on from Lou part or moving on or selling each one of those individual guys?
Let's do just the selling part. Well, no, so you're going to say yes to that. That's an obvious, right? If we're out of it by January?
The selling part, I would Palmieri, Riley, absolutely. Nelson, I feel on the fence about. Like if they say, like, I know it's not working right now, but Brock Nelson is in our 3-year plan. We want to give him an extension, and you keep him. I get it, but I also see the side of wanting to trade and maximum. Like I'm gonna be upset to see him go in like the emotional attachment to the player, but I would totally understand like trying to maximize what you're getting, because he would get you a 1st round pick. He would get you another swing in the 2025 draft.
Like if Minnesota is in a playoff run and doing the thing, and he's like, guys, can I go play in Minnesota and try to win a cup in Minnesota? Be like, yes, absolutely. So long as we get a 1st from that, please.
Right. Like I while it would sting to lose Brock Nelson and trade him, I would understand if they did.
Exactly. No one would be upset about it, obviously. And then, would you get rid of Lou if we missed the playoffs at the end of the year?
Yeah, even if they make it, like it's. I think it's time. I would like to see someone else worked in there, but
yeah, I want to see new ideas, type of thing.
I'm with you.
We'll see. We said that last year. If they missed the playoffs, they didn't. So I got to kind of stick to it. Like, well, if he misses it this year, then definitely. But who knows? Lou just always makes the playoffs, and then half the teams in the league make the playoffs.
Yeah, half the teams make it, but they're like, I don't know. They're not bad enough for major turnover, and that's maybe the problem. But
yeah, exactly. They're in the mushy middle. Coaching, he says, no Engvall, Lee, or Mayfield on any special teams. Oh, I don't know about that. Only 5-on-5 time, and that's it. No age on the special teams. Cultivate the use. What do you think of that? Do you think it just means power play?
I would hope so, I guess. Well, then who would be the PK defenders?
I guess
Dobson and
Pollock.
And Dobson, because you need 4.
Yeah, you'd have 2D. So I guess Dobson. Oh, I would not put Dobson.
I wouldn't either. So I think Mayfield's going to be there by default.
Yeah,
on the PK,
but definitely on the power play.
No,
Power play.
I don't like the idea of Engvall on the power play. Lee can be on power play too.
Yeah. Net front presence on power play too, 100%. Let's do it. I have no problems with that whatsoever. But more youth, yeah, I'm down with that. Please.
But who?
Let the next wave go. Yeah, who's youth? Does Stiplikov count as youth? He's like 25.
Yeah, I would say probably not, no. But like I also don't think Maggio, Defoe, Jeffrey, like any of those, I don't see any of those guys being inserted into this lineup.
They would have to have a camp of all camps to make this lineup. And that's not gonna. If anyone gets that spot, it's gonna be Wally.
You know what? That's who I was gonna bring up. We forgot to mention in the positive to being a top 10. Oliver Wahlstrom has to figure it out and be a 25 goal scorer, like we've been talking about for 5 years.
Yeah, that's true. There you go. Wally got his spot.
There you go.
Then Maddie says Barzal Horvat must get as much time in all situations together as possible. Make them utterly inseparable, especially on the PK.
Barzal on the penalty kill.
Does he get a lot of penalty kill time? I don't know.
I don't think so. That would be a new ad. Horvat I like on the PK, but is it just Barzal because of his speed and the number of takeaways that he has? Is that why he would be a penalty killer?
Maybe they could grab 2.0, right?
Possibly, but that would be a new one.
So, wow. What do you think is? Oh my gosh. How much PK time do you think Matthew Barzal received last year? Total.
22 minutes.
Much less.
Okay.
Much less. 3 minutes and 27 seconds.
I don't know. I don't know. There were some injuries at some point. 22 was maybe a little bit high even, but I was like 3. I didn't think it was going to be single digits. I thought it was going to be a little bit higher than that. 3. Okay.
So did I. His career high is 5 minutes and 30.
Okay.
In 1920, he got a minute 55.
That's really funny.
If you like that, make sure to subscribe to Up the Turnpike on Patreon for more exclusive New York Islanders content.